Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we at Invisible Condition, we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you do have a community, and you are not alone. And to that end, I have an amazing guest today that I'm very excited to introduce you to. Suzanne Glover is a very seasoned professional with over 30 years of experience in acting, sales, internet marketing. She's done a lot. It's pretty awesome. Despite being anemic while dealing with menopause, Suzanne has fought back and gone on to achieve incredible success that we will talk about. And Suzanne is the mastermind behind the video influencing system, which she'll tell us about during this episode a little bit, I think. And now she's combined her film experience with her business marketing and sales skills to serve a huge need for entrepreneurs who need to show up for the camera. And now that video is the new way of doing business, that's where we're at. Here we are, YouTube and TikTok and video and TV. And so she is rocking it. And so here, I'm going to bring her on here. Oh my gosh, Suzanne, thank you so much for being here. This is awesome.
Thank you, Jeff, for having me. I love it being here. I love being here. Thank you.
This is so cool. I absolutely love how, and I say this almost every episode, I feel like, but it's so cool how I can't imagine how I would have ever met you unless it was through the channels that we met. It's like who knew that we would be here today, right? Like, it's so crazy. Like, nothing's an accident. We're here on purpose, but it's like, I'm so glad that our paths crossed, as crazy as a way that it did, I'm so glad. So
me too, Jeff. It's been a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So you have obviously had an amazing career on camera, very visible. Okay. Very visible on camera everywhere. Right. So, but there's been some invisible health challenges that you had to get through that really weren't apparent to the people around you. Can you just talk about that for a minute and introduce us to that whole world?
All right. Well, it's interesting because people look at me and they go, "Oh, Suzanne, you're really talented. You're really smart. You're really confident." And yet inside, at the time that this was happening, I was feeling just the opposite. So let me go back. I'm in my 60s right now. I'm 65. And between the ages of 40 and about 60, 25 years there, I was in denial that my life was falling apart because I was anemic. I was having menopause issues. I was also doing the elderly support thing. So my invisible condition was really multifaceted. There were physical, conditions, absolutely. Absolutely. I could not get my anemia under control. And it wasn't even about the menopause. It wasn't about the bleeding. It was about my lifestyle. So what does that mean? What do you're probably going, well, what does that mean? My
Yeah, exactly.
my doctor is like, okay, now not all invisible conditions are this way. You can't just change your lifestyle and have them fixed.
Sure.
But my doctor was pretty smart about it. And she said, the way that you're driving yourself, even though you eat well, you take vitamins, you do all these good things for yourself, you're driving yourself and you're not letting your brain stop. Ah. And so that is, she has it in your burning your system up mode versus your replenishing mode. So I'm going to say that again. When you overwork, overthink, all these things that you do on a constant habitual level, it burns your body out versus replenishing, whereas meditating, things that actually I do brainwave meditations a lot that put me into the states and it calms me down. So one of the things that I helped me deal with my psychological problems of my invisible condition, which were anemia, menopause, self-confidence, a lot of midlife problems. But the way that I handled the psychological part of it was to do a brainwave meditation or take a walk or quietly get a massage. I did a lot of massages at the time because it helped me psychologically get over the stuff that was going on in my body. Does that answer your question in terms of
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's great. And I love that answer. I love the massage thing because that for me over the last couple of years, there's been some side effects from the last surgery I had. And that is something similar to that really helped with some of the side effects of the surgery. I mean, the physical touch and it's almost like it distracts your brain from it's like, ow, pain, ow, ow, ow. And then that happens and it goes, ooh, it's almost like your brain's going squirrel, and it's distracted from it just enough that it kind of helps, and chills you out. I love that. That's
that's been one of my go-to tools over the years. For example, there was one time that I had candida systemic. I didn't know that I had candida systemically because I was in, and I'm not disparaging Western medicine, but they wanted to put me on Prozac. So he put me on Prozac because he said, you're depressed.
Yeah.
So I went on Prozac and I said, okay, I'll do this for a few months. 6 months went by and I said, okay, I'm better. When can I stop? And he said, you will never be able to not take that because you're prone to depression. And I said, okay, I went Eastern. Now I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I went alternative. And she was the person that took me off of Prozac. She gave me Chinese herbs and things. But one of the things, and I don't have any problems with depression because I addressed the root of it. Yes. The root cause was I was getting dizzy when I was eating food. What's that about? And she said the alternative person was an acupuncturist, herbalist person, hippy dippy thing. But she was also a Western doctor, so she had the integration. Nice. She said, when you have mental symptoms like that, the dizziness when you're eating, she said that means that it's a very deep issue in your head and not in your body, I mean. So she went straight after my gut, and I had systemic candida, and she said, paraphrasing what she said, your body has some sort of cycle that it goes through digestion. And there's one part of the cycle where it turns it into alcohol. And I think being stuck there and flooding your body with alcohol. So she went into my gut. Well, I mean, not literally, but she went into my gut and test wise. And we found out, I not only had candida, but I had this type of candida that had put tentacles into the side roots. into the side of my intestines.
Mm.
So I got over that. But one of my main things that I have really done over the years when I was combating depression, when I'm having these things go on, when I'm having this pain all over my body that I don't know why,
Yeah.
massage.
Mm.
Because I'm not a scientist, but I think that massage has some sort of way to release endorphins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it also squeezes out a lot of poisons and loosens up the tension of the muscles. So that's been one of my go-to, and my story keeps going. Yes, I mean, I had surgery, so I'll keep talking about that. But I wanted to bring that to the forefront that
Yeah.
I really, really, even yesterday, I had a couple of really, how many times am I saying really here? I had a really bad couple of days, Monday and Tuesday. I was overwhelmed,
Yeah.
stressed out, unhappy. Wednesday, I said, that's it. And I stayed in bed for a while, just to nurture myself. And then I went and got a massage, and my whole world changed.
Yeah. Yeah. If you find something like that that works, like I have a go-to for that too. It's a pad that I lay on the couch, and it vibrates. It's like, kind of vibraty, and it's got heat and stuff if you want it. And like, that's my system reset. If my body's starting to tell me I need to chill, that is my system reset. And I fall asleep while it's doing its thing, and I'll wake up and it's like, new lease on life, And so, and anybody can have that kind of protocol. I mean, if it doesn't matter what condition you have or don't have, sometimes you need something like that. It's okay, to do that. But what one of the things you said kind of cracked me up, because I heard this I heard this line from somebody a long time ago, a natural practitioner, alternative, person. And she goes, you're not depressed because you have a Zoloft deficiency in your system. That's not the problem. It's, that has nothing to do with it. You don't have a Zoloft shaped hole in your system that once you start taking that, you'll never, kind of like what your person said, you can never stop taking. Well, that's just ridiculous.
And the alternative person, I'll interrupt just a second, sorry.
Yeah.
The alternative person said, you know what? The phone is ringing. And I love this because I have an old phone.
Yes. Is that the one that you got to do that? It's not even push button.
Yeah, right. And it's a new old phone. But you know what? I have this here because, well, this was my phone in my modeling school that I was attached to. Got me business. But she said that the phone is ringing in your body, saying that there's a problem. The Prozac is putting a pillow over the phone. It's still ringing.
Yeah.
It's still ringing.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, okay, maybe there aren't ways to treat something like to get rid of it, but maybe you can treat some things to make the ringer tone. What do you call it? You turn down the ringer volume.
Yeah. No, that's yeah, exactly. Well, I just want to take this second here to just address who's watching and just say, okay, everybody, listen. If you have any questions about if something that you hear during this show is like light bulb, like, that makes sense, or you have questions about, anything that Suzanne and I are talking about, like menopause or with whatever, reach out and that's why we're here. We're going to put a QR code up here with something that she's offering as well here in a little bit. And just reach out. She is more than happy. And that's why we're here. She wants to talk to you. So, yeah, I just want to get that out there because, and whether you see it on the live show or whether you see it on demand or whatever, it still applies. The QR code will still work. You can still get in touch with her. So, yeah. So in fact, why not just pop it up there? Let's just put it up there. Why not? So there you go. Scan that QR code. We'll talk about where that goes and what it is in just a minute. But Or you know what? Let's talk about it now. Where does that go, and what's the free course that we're talking about there, Suzanne? I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but go for it.
We're getting way ahead. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Or we could just leave that up
No, no,
there,
no.
maybe.
So let me
Okay.
explain that, and then
Yeah.
because of my problem, I turned to video, and I'm helping people do video to help their businesses excel when they have a condition that they can't work all the time.
There
That's
you go.
what you see what I mean. So, for example, a lot of people who am I talking to? I'm talking to a person who can't work or can't really, they used to be more successful in their business, but they're really having a hard time right now. I'm talking to you about how to prospect using video, how to use automation using video, not even video on that one, to
Yeah.
make it easier while you're dealing with your condition. So that's why I'm offering a free course about how to use automation and video to prospect and get some clients. Even if you're working at a job, you may have to show up on video. Maybe there are days that you just aren't feeling like you want to show up on video. And that's why I'm offering this for you. It's a free course on how to show up better on camera and prospect for new clients.
I love that. And yes, please, anybody watching, I mean, we'll have that up for the rest of the show, and scan away, go for it. Go to the website or scan the QR code. What's that?
Well, leave us. Yeah, we still have more to tell you, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just wanted to get it up. I wanted it to be up for longer than not.
Yeah,
So that's why I wanted to put up there. So
they can go.
people would have
They can
the
go there
info
while
up
we're
there.
talking, and
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I totally derailed us. Putting that up there. Whoops. Oh well.
that's okay.
No
They can
worries.
go and listen to that, or they can go and download that, and then just keep listening to
Yeah,
us as we
exactly.
talk.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, so what was maybe like a specific instance where where your invisible condition um affected you, but you overcame it, which is probably what led you to do, the course and write the book and all that kind of stuff. Like, what was that point that was like, okay, I got to get past this. This is ridiculous.
It took me a long time, Jeff. From age 40 to 60, I was in denial
Mm,
that my life was falling apart because I had this condition that a lot of people have. It's
yeah.
not anything. It's not anything special like some long term. Although I did have a naturopath say that I have Ehlers-Danlos,
Oh,
which
Ehlers-Danlos. Yeah,
you know about it. So
I've
she
heard of
said,
that. Yeah.
yeah, she
Yeah.
said I have that, but I haven't been tested for it yet. So,
Hmm.
but but it does solidify a lot of the problems that I've had over the years.
Hmm.
I'm very, very, very flexible. People call me Gumby. My skin, I have a lot of symptoms. When I look through the list, I've got 9 out of 10 of them.
Wow.
So, but how do I deal with it? So it was contributing to my menopause. So here's
Oof.
the deal.
Yeah.
I had for many years kept struggling, and even though I would do massage and meditation, I wasn't really addressing the issue of how can I turn down that volume. Maybe I can't get rid of it, but how do I turn down the volume of that ringer?
Hmm. Yeah.
So I finally found a doctor who understood, because I had taken hormones all over the place. I thought that was the see. I went from answer to answer to answer to answer. I thought was each answer was it.
Yeah.
It
Sure.
wasn't until I found a doctor she was Western, but she said, "Wow, these last set of hormones that you."
Uh-oh. Oh, well, You know what? In that
Because
case,
by
uh-oh.
this time I was bleeding heavily. I mean, heavily. I was
Mhm.
I would be trying to do some work, and every hour, well, actually, not even every hour, every 20 minutes running to the bathroom. Not to be graphic, sorry, but
Yeah.
running to the bathroom with a pool, having to change my stuff because it was
Yeah.
overflowing.
Mm.
And I was wearing 10-hour pads. So it came to the point that first, I was in denial. Second, I didn't take it seriously as far as, okay, well, something is happening, but I'm going to be okay. And I'm not going to do anything
Yeah.
about it.
Mm.
Third, it finally got to the point where I started kind of being curious. So these are my stages. Denial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll be all right. I don't have to do anything about it. It'll go away. And, oh, maybe I should start wondering what's going on here. So here's the deal. I went to the doctor, a different doctor, my regular guy, for my annual. He said to me, I asked him, why are my periods so heavy? He goes, oh, you have fibroids. I go, why does everyone say that in response to my question? He said, because fibroids are like a open wound that are bleeding blood from your system. It's not,
Oh, man.
yeah. Okay, that was August. September, I was on a trip and I ended up in a pool of blood in an hour of being in the car driving. And I had like a 10-hour pad on. I mean, I should not have had, I had double
Yeah.
protection, and it was like, okay, I've got a pool of blood. This is my own blood. So I did have a hysterectomy. I did go through a surgery, and that really knocked me out. I was under
Yeah.
anesthesia way too long. I couldn't think. It took me months to recover. And even 4 years later, I finally have started. This was 2019. By 2023, late fall, I started feeling like myself again.
Man.
And what I have done in the meantime to keep myself going is be able to say, okay, I'm meditating, I'm doing massage, I'm doing these little things to turn down the ringer because my body is obviously not happy. But as far as business goes, I'm helping people do video to make their business easier, because like this particular interview, for example, when I do an interview like this,
Yeah.
people say, okay, hey, there's Suzanne. I can appear all over the internet, but I'm only spending an hour here with you. So I'm
Right.
leveraging, I'm making myself leveraged. And when I put these videos done the right way into a message when I'm video prospecting, which
Mhm.
is relatively new still, I can, even though I'm still doing it personally, I could automate it if I wanted to and still make my business work. That's why I'm doing
Yes.
what I'm doing, to help people, because I have found when in the industry, I was in the industry for 35 years. And when I finally got my first national TV commercial, I had a check in the mail for 3 years, every
Nice.
week, residuals. And I learned at that point that, okay, I can make money passively through video. But I also learned that I had to do it right, because when I did my first commercial, I froze like a deer in the headlights because it was my first commercial.
Yeah. Sure.
And I didn't know, even though I was a model and I was talking in public, it wasn't in front of the camera. When
Yeah.
I got in front of the camera, and this is what people are doing now, they get in front of the camera and get uncomfortable. And so now they have this, let's just do a scenario here. Let's say a
Okay.
person is trying to live life, whether it be a job or run a business.
Okay.
And whether you're in a job or you're in a business, the new way of doing business is on camera.
Mhm.
But there's so many psychological factors that are going against you on this camera thing. And I'm not going to go into them, but it's not your fault if you're feeling anxious. It is not even your condition that could be making you feel anxious, because this thing takes the fear of public speaking to the nth degree. And there are all sorts of reasons for that. It's out there for posterity.
Yeah.
Women have to feel like they look right and not be too salesy. So there's a lot of stigmas attached with this. But at the same time, when you learn to do it right and you show up credibly, you look good, you talk well, you're authentic, and you're able to sell. Because it's a different thing. If you're on Zoom, you're talking like you and I are talking.
Sure.
But a lot of people try, and this is so prevalent out there. Somebody, let's say, take a coach. Let's take a coach who has an invisible condition, who's trying to struggle along. And yet this person is just really, now everything else I'm doing in my life, now I have to learn video because it's a new way of doing business. And that's the only way. In the pandemic, everyone had to show up. That's the way.
Right.
If they're at a job, a lot of people have to show up on camera now. Mm-hmm. And what's happening is people are driving clients away because they aren't taking the medium seriously. They'll show up badly. They don't know how to talk. They're too salesy. They're boring. So what I have found is the most important thing for people to do who can't really work like they used to do is to be more work smarter, not harder. And video helps you do that when you do it right. And I can give you some tips right here if you want, but I also give you more tips. I'm not trying to plug it, but I also give you more tips about how to show up on video in the free course because it is important.
It is hugely important, especially after 2020 and everybody, having to be at home and on video all of a sudden, So no, I love that idea. And I think we should definitely do that. Let's go to commercial break real quick for a couple things. And then as soon as we come back, we'll talk about that. And we can talk about a little more about the course and your book and all the things. So we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. And then everybody stick around. Don't go anywhere because we got some good stuff coming on the other side. We'll see you soon.
In a world where office workers typically receive 130 daily emails and have an 8-second attention span, CoreCentrica, with her 4 decades of international marketing experience, has partnered with the Learning Code Institute and their 30 years of neuroscientific research. Together, we are crafting unique messaging strategies that resonate, connect, and ultimately convert our target audiences. CoreCentrica, where award-winning creativity and disruptive neuroscience come together. Scan this code now, or call and click, and let us show you how CoreCentrica's partnership with the Learning Code Institute is influencing how businesses connect with their audience, foster engagement, and achieve conversions.
The Club eFit Home Portable Gym System is a groundbreaking new system that can help everyone at any fitness level. You can be the happy, fit person you always wanted to be, and Club eFit can make that happen by helping you get the body you deserve in the time you can spare. With workouts ranging from cardio, core, to total body toning, it's easy to get started. Start taking care of you today. To make the change, go to clubefit.com now.
Does your to-do list have you feeling stressed? Does your list include tasks like responding to email and phone calls, collecting forms and paperwork, and sending quotes and invoices? Have you been neglecting posting updates to your social media accounts, email newsletters, or content on your website? Maybe you need help to get digitally organized. I'm Selena, one of the owners at Office Mercenary, and we're a US-based virtual assistant agency. We can take care of all of these tasks and more so you can get back to focusing on the things you love about your business. Our team is happy to work with you and your individual needs. So schedule a call with us, bring your to-do list, and stop doing the tedious tasks.
Hi, Eva Baca-Kearns here, and I am the host of One Punch Superstars, where we meet real people who chose to fight for their hopes and their dreams and become the champions of their destiny. You can find us on Achieve TV every Tuesday and Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, right here on E360 TV.
right. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for coming back to join us for the rest of the show. Thank you for being here, Suzanne. This is awesome. This is so good. So much good information. And when we went to the break, we were going to talk about more of your the program that you have in the free offer, the offer that you've got that's got the QR code and everything. Go ahead and just dive into that a little bit. And I'm going to just put you full screen just for a minute, and then go for it. Tell us all about it.
Okay, well, I'm just thinking one of the problems that I have found with entrepreneurs today. So when the pandemic hit, we all have to be on camera. That's one problem. But another problem that everyone's experiencing is pretty much if you're in business, trying to find leads, if you're in a work environment, it's also pertinent for you to know how to reach out to people. And automation nowadays is really something that is valuable to use. So what I've done to address this problem is pretty much put together a course, a small free course that uses automation and video to find new clients in social media. And that helps you stand out, because when you're using video the right way, you can get people to answer you. For example, when I've done LinkedIn, I'll have automation go out and find people for me. But then it also will, respond to people who don't respond to me. But the people who do respond to me, I will give them a video. I will give them a personalized video. And it's not a pre-recorded personalized. It's a live personalized. I will give it to them. And the show-up rate, not the show-up rate, but the response rate goes through the roof. And you know what they'll say? They'll say, I want to learn how to do that. I want to know, what's the software? What are you doing? How do you do this? This is great. I feel so special. It's remarkable, the feedback that I've gotten. So that's why I want to share this with you guys, because if you're living with a condition that is decreasing your effectiveness, then maybe you could use this at work. Maybe you could use this for your business. Maybe you know somebody who could use this. That's why I'm giving this to you, because I want to make life easier for you. And automation and video done the right way will do that for you. You're muted, Jeff.
Oh, I can't believe I did that. Come on. That's such a rookie mistake. Hi, everybody. I'm back. Welcome to Live TV. So, oh, man. So you touched on this before in the first segment, but how did you said something about video saved you, like video brought you back or something, like from what you were, dealing with. How did tell us about that again? I just, if anybody missed it, I just want to get that out there again.
It did. And here's why. When I was in my modeling school, I had a modeling acting school where I did all the teaching, and I was getting worn down and worn down and worn down and worn down. I was still using video for myself as far as going out to auditions. But what I found when I was working with people was the result, or the side effects, positive side effects, okay. So how did it pull me out? Because I'm helping people with video that I've done for so long, it started nurturing me, because I was giving to people. And when I would see a person, for example, I forgot to say that part of that thing is my book, video.
Oh, yes.
And the reason I'm pointing to this is because when I work with somebody, they feel like a movie star. And that's like, okay, Suzanne, this is weird. So when I help, and this is not a commercial, guys. This is from my heart to you. When I help somebody, let's just give you a story.
Yeah.
Sally, dental office manager, 50-something years old, dealing with some problem in her life that was unidentified. She went to bed for 2 years. Now, we don't know if it was menopause. We don't know what it was. She went to bed for 2 years, ate nothing but TV dinners. So she went to the doctor and he said, Sally, you should be dead according to your lab results. She and I worked together and she started coming alive again. And as she started coming alive again, so did I, because she pulled out her violin. She hadn't played that in years. So what we did was we put together a comedy routine where she would do like Jack Benny, tell a joke, and she was very good at this because she started feeling like she was valuable. She started feeling like she was worth something because she overcame this video thing and got to reboot her life. She went on I took her to an acting convention where she performed in front of hundreds of people. She got second place in the comedy competition. So how did I overcome this? I started teaching others video and seeing how it affected them. Like Sally said, hey, I can look somebody in the eye now. I feel really great about myself. And in my terms, the reason I call my book, Be a Video Influencer, Reinvent Your Life and Business as a Midlife Movie Star, is because she started feeling like a movie star. She started feeling like a celebrity. She wasn't a celebrity, but she started feeling that. It changed her core. And when I can change somebody's core pattern like that, it lifts me up and I start thinking, okay, that is how video has saved me, because I'm so fulfilled when I see somebody have such transformation from that type of, because this video thing is a real bad problem for people. People don't want to show up. They avoid it and it's hurting them, but they have to.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people, like I'm part of a couple different networking groups and they're great and they do a lot of good and they've helped me immensely in what we're doing, but they're all on Zoom. They're all on Zoom, and that's where we're going, and so yeah, this is so important because so many, even if your job doesn't require you to be on video, sometimes networking does. Sometimes, because there's more virtual networking now than there is in person. And so, and what you're saying, just for some reason, this thing keeps running through my head. Everybody knows who Jerry Seinfeld is. He said something that was probably 25 years ago, but I thought it was perfect. He said, public speaking is the number one fear of any human being. So that means at a funeral, you'd rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy, right? It's, when you put it like that, it's kind of terrifying, but it's true. For most people, it's true. I'd rather be, dead than having to talk to people in a group. So, but it sounds like your program would be, this is what it's for.
But see, public speaking, number one fear, amplified on this thing. And so people will say, oh, I can just flip on my phone and talk and be natural. But don't do that, because you have to learn to be natural in this environment. Like right now, I'm wearing a lot of makeup. I look like a clown in person, but I hardly see any makeup on my face.
Yep.
See, so you have to learn to look natural in this. And I want to go back to the networking thing. Oh man, that is a pet peeve of mine. I'll tell you this, because here's why. When I'm in a networking group, all I do is I just sit there, and people will say to me when we get into the breakout rooms, oh, I wanted to talk to you. Why? Because you look like you know what you're doing. Why? And they just go on and on and on. And all I'm doing is showing up. I'll tell you that I am not a snob. But I'll tell you, sitting in those networking groups, I have it on mute until someone shows up like they should be, because they're showing up. Okay, here's the deal. If someone hasn't taken the time to be respectful of me by showing up well, it's like meeting somebody in a business person in your pajamas. Would you do that?
Right. Yeah.
You wouldn't do that. So why are people showing up on camera in these networking events in the dark? I mean, I'm going to turn out all my, okay, I'm literally, okay, and they're down here. I might as well be in my pajamas, you know,
eating a bag of potato chips, you know, sucking on a Slurpee, you know.
Or they have a virtual background. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
I know
I hate
that's a pet peeve of yours. And their heads are bouncing around everywhere and they're disappearing and they don't even know it. So if a person is fooling around with that stuff, here's my point. It's like a baby playing with matches. If someone is doing video incorrectly, I won't even listen to them. And nobody else is either, because I'm telling you, all I'm doing is I'm showing up. I'm not even saying anything. And I'll get invitations for interviews and things. Oh yeah, I want to interview you. Why? Because well, how come? Well, you know, it's perception. And there are rules to this medium. This is not about me. There are rules to this medium. Like I'm wearing a lot of makeup right now. I'm lit a certain way. I've got a lot of things in this frame that are very subconscious to make me look credible and right and approachable and friendly and all those good things. So this is something that is going to keep evolving. I wanted to mention that. And I want to mention this because one thing I want your audience to understand, when they're dealing with a condition, it could get worse. The phone could start ringing less volume. Sure. It could get worse. If they could do, say, an online course and a webinar the right way, then they've got some sort. And I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm saying, what if you could have something like that going that could give you a small amount of money, even if it's just a little bit, so that you're just doing group coaching or something like that.
That's more automated. Yeah. That's more, you know, you create the course once and then, you know, it can be generating income, you know.
But I'll tell you, for those of you who have done courses out there already, maybe there are some of you who are saying, oh yeah, I've already done my course. I'm ready to go. Okay. There's a trick to doing courses. And when I did my focus group for my course, first mistake, I said, the first module, I did a whole 20-minute video. Nope. They said, don't want to listen to it, Suzanne, too long. So then I went into statistics and found out, okay, yeah, we need to have a certain length. We need to be saying certain things. We need to, and I started doing the videos in a certain way. And they were like, oh yeah. Oh, I had to keep watching. You had me hooked because I had, okay, next one. It was just enough to make it was like a cliffhanger. You know, you do a cliffhanger. It's like a commercial every time, but you do it a certain way. So if you're doing an online course and you want engagement, or you're doing a webinar and you want engagement, just like you are doing on this, Jeff is doing, you're moving this along in a certain format. You want to do that when you're working with video so that people, because they can just click away, man.
Right. Attention spans are short.
Very,
very, very short. Yeah. Whether it's long form content, like a TV show that goes for an hour, like this one, or TikTok or YouTube or shorts on Facebook or whatever for 60 seconds, you know, the average lifespan, attention span is like seconds. You know, if it doesn't catch them in 3 seconds or some ridiculous thing, they're scrolling on, you know, so it's true.
And another, I'm going to interrupt you just for one more thing, because something occurred to me that I've addressed something, but I haven't given an answer to it.
Oh, okay.
And so what happens is a lot of people, now that video is the way to do things,
Mhm.
people who are already have a condition, like I had the condition, I was the menopause, the Ehlers-Danlos, everything. I finally got a hysterectomy and it blew me out. Okay. So what I had to do was be more strategic in
Okay.
how I used video. So even though video changed my life because I'm helping people and it made me feel better, then I still had to be more strategic. And what's happening now, people believe that they have to put out content, video content, turn on the phone,
Yeah.
talk, video content. You need to be more strategic. And I do talk about that in my book. That's what I wanted to mention. I give a
Yes.
7-step formula in here because a lot of people do it backwards. They'll go out and do a whole bunch of content, but it's like driving cattle off a cliff. So I address that in my book. That's why I wanted to mention that, because
Oh yeah.
if they aren't interested in the free course, this is my story about my middle years and why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is free as part of that free course.
Amazing. Yeah, it's true. There's so much content going all the time, and it's moving so fast, and so, from just single businesses, I notice on Facebook, I can't scroll twice without seeing this guy's face at least once. There's like a couple people that and it almost becomes, it's not a well-driven cattle drive. It's like you remember that Super Bowl commercial back in the day? I don't know if it was like 20 years ago, and it was the cat herders trying to herd cats, so I talk about that. It's like herding blind cats, they're just going everywhere, and you have no control. Would you rather do that, or would you rather have a laser focused, thing, and it's
You want to focus it.
Yeah.
You want to focus it. And that's the only way you're going to be able to do this. Focus it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I know there are people watching that are probably in a situation where it's like, hey, I don't know, maybe you're empty nesters now and the kids just graduated and you're like, hey, I get to start my business now. I've been wanting to do this for 20 years and now I can, because the kids are all off at college or whatever, or you're starting to go through the menopause whole journey and adventure that is. Any of that. People are at the whatever stage they're in, but if you're in a stage where you would like to learn more about this stuff, this QR code it's got your name written all over it. And Suzanne is the person to talk to. Honestly, I'm so excited for people to scan this QR code and get in touch with you, because it's going to be life-changing for some people. I think just the little bit that you're offering so much with that free course. And I know you say it's little, but it's probably going to be huge for some people, because it's something they've never seen before, and
I do want to say that, this is not the public's fault that when I started in the realm way 35 years ago, I had to go through gatekeepers. I had to get an agent. I had to get training. I had to learn the medium. And the public has to do this without all the training. And it's going to keep evolving. It's just going to keep evolving. People who can't talk on camera, just like the jazz singer back in 1927 when silent went to talkies, a lot of people dropped off.
Yeah.
So now is the time to be ahead of the curve and do something about it, because, it's just going to get more competitive. Pretty much. Oh, exactly. That's what I want to say. You know how you talked about the scrolling?
Yeah.
The scrolling?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s and 90s when I was on VHS and the audition, the producers would watch the audition tapes on fast forward. And they go, okay, wait, we want to talk to her. Wait, who's that? You just like scrolling today. I had to make them stop. And I did.
That's great.
Yeah.
I had no idea. It makes sense. They've got so much to watch in such a little time. Yep. It's like my wife. She'll listen to like stuff from, whoever, Dean Graziosi or Tony Robbins or whatever speaker she's listening to, but I can't do it. My brain can't handle it, but she'll put it on double speed or 1.5 speed. Just,
I can't do
I
that.
I don't know. It blows
No,
my
I wanted to
mind, but
mention that because that's what you guys are up against. You have to be able to
it's true.
catch their attention right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And it's just persona. It's just amplified at this point in time how competitive it is out there.
Yeah.
So
There's just
yeah,
so much out there. Yeah, you have to stand out. Yeah, exactly.
you have to.
And
Oh, and like you just said, you just remember I said the networking. I don't listen to anyone. I have it on mute, so I don't
yeah.
listen to anyone who doesn't show up right and is giving me the respect of showing up not in their pajamas for a business meeting.
Yeah.
That's what those producers, I'm sure, were doing the same thing. They were probably saying,
Yes.
fake, fake, fake. Oh, wait, she's real.
Moving
Let's talk to
on.
her.
Yeah. So wait, you have your mute on or you have everybody else muted? You don't want to listen to anybody unless they're showing up right? Or you have
I don't
yourself
listen.
on mute?
I don't listen to them.
Wow.
I will not listen to them. When they aren't showing up in their pajamas at a business meeting, I will listen to them. If they
Yeah.
look bad or they're down at the bottom of the screen with some stupid virtual background, some people would say, well, Suzanne, that's your target audience. And I go, no,
No, it's not.
because how much education do I have to tell that person? There are so many people out there that say, hey, I get it, Suzanne. I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Why would I go after people who are uneducated? I mean,
Why would
like
you-
this, I'm helping people right now
Well,
educate, but this is, again, it's strategic. See?
if you can help people that are, if you're here and they're way back here, it's a lot harder to help them than if you find somebody that's maybe here.
Yeah,
right?
so the
So
two course educates
yeah.
them a little bit more.
Exactly. Yeah. That's amazing. I love it. Well, we've got about 2 minutes left. And it's, I know time flies when you're having fun, right? So even when the host is muted for a second, I'm still kind of baffled that I did that. So what would you like to leave our audience with in the last 2 or so minutes?
The one thing that I've done all my life is I've continually questioned, and I'm not being disrespectful. I'm a very conservative, respectful person. But I've always questioned, are they telling me the right thing? And it's not about credentials. It's about how I feel inside.
Yep.
So if someone's telling you something about your condition, like the doctor said, oh, you got to stay in Prozac the rest of your life. I don't think so.
Uh-uh.
So I'm not saying to not listen to your doctor, but I'm saying to listen to your heart. If you really want to do something with your life, do something, make a choice, be powerful, and do something for yourself, because that's where real change comes in. Whether you get on video or you're doing something else, be powerful in your life and do something for yourself, even if it is take a day off and go get a massage.
Right. 100%. I love it. See, do you hear that, everybody? She just gave you permission to take a day off and go get a massage. Go for it. Do it. That's awesome. Sometimes, hey, I'm totally with you. That is one thing that I have gotten very good at over the last 10 years of all the surgeries and all the crazy and all the complications and everything that we've got to go through in this household for the last 10 years is that has forced me to rest and to slow down and to be very deliberate about when I rest and when I work and when I do this and and I think that's missing from a lot of people's lives. It's how they feel like they have to just go.
You got to live intentionally at your own speed.
Yes, 100%. I agree. Well, Suzanne, thank you so much for being here. This has been awesome. And I'm so glad that we had a chance to do this, and connection needed to be made, got made, and we landed here and we're here. And I'm so glad that our audience got to hear from you and all the amazing things that you have to offer. And guys, take advantage of it. Go back and rewind this, go back to the replay and scan this QR code or whatever you need to do, but get in touch with Suzanne. It'll change your life. So thank you for being here. I so appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This has been really enjoyable, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody. My goodness. I know I say this every show, but man, I think every guest after I get done is my new favorite guest. I think it's like, that was so cool. We got to have her back again. So, all right. If everybody if you're watching this and you're like, man, that was a really cool episode. I think that's my new favorite episode. Share it. Hit that share button on YouTube or Facebook and share it, because if it's your favorite episode, it's probably going to become somebody else's. Okay. And if you've been watching for a long time and you have some favorite episodes that you've been sharing, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. And thank you for furthering that along and sharing that out. Just thank you for being here, everybody. Join us for our next show on Friday, May 17th. And until then, have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.